What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today we're going to be talking about the new patch that just dropped today for Mortal Kombat 1. First things first, I'm going to go over the major changes. Then I'm going to go over the patch notes for just a bit because I know some people like seeing the patch notes. And then I'm going to talk about how I feel about the patch. That's the most important part of the video because there's not that much to go over. So let's get right into it. Now, Homelander. Right here, he's going to have to spin the bar when he does this combo. Now, I don't think that they should have changed that, honestly. I feel like him having really good damage before was fine, and I don't really think it was a necessary change to make it to where he had the whole damage scaling fixed, because honestly, the scaling was not even that bad for the type of character he is. So them adding that change was not a big deal. I feel like they should have let it rock. I feel like that he should do ridiculous damage for his archetype. Now, another change, that diabolical dash punch, after he does that punch right there, he's supposed to be negative 16. But I don't know what they did, because even though we got a whole list of changes with Homelander, that's still something that they did not fix. And so technically Homelander is still bugged in the game right now. A move that's supposed to be minus 16 is plus. That's ridiculous. I don't get it. Again, it's just NRS, again, messing up. He's not supposed to be able to do that right there. Now, another change I feel like they should have let rock is the Cyrax change. Cyrax, when you pop Cyrax now, it takes up the whole bar. I don't feel like they should have done that. I feel like they could have let it rock because they were already willing to let it rock for their biggest event of the year. So I feel like they should have just left it alone at that point, because Cyrax in his current form, he's not even a
Torpedo.
top 3 assists.
Torpedo.
Maybe number 3, maybe, but it's still debatable if they had left him in his old form. But now, unfortunately, he got changed, and I don't feel like it was a good change at all, just being completely honest. So Chameleon also got her damage value. Oh, she also got her ball roll nerf just a bit. The pushback is just like a little bit less obnoxious. It's not really worth showing. And she got her health nerfed by 50. So, but the biggest change right here that I have to show y'all, the biggest change, if we look at this, Peacemaker, his torpedo is now a high. That is a big deal. We don't know if this is a buff yet or a nerf.
Torpedo.
Because you could look at it as either or.
Torpedo.
Because he still gets out of there, even though you can technically duck it. And he still has anti-gravity, the amazing zoning. He got a little damage nerf like Chameleon, but he's still Peacemaker. He's still going to do Peacemaker things. He just isn't going to be able to check you with Torpedo in the neutral anymore. And Torpedo in the neutral was a really good part of his strategy, but he didn't really need it. Honestly, it was just, a greedy thing you can just throw out to check them, trying to avoid some projectiles, but he still has Eagly, so he's still the same character. And when I was recording one of my takes of doing this video, it really hit me that the patch didn't change that much. But before I get into that, let's quickly go over the patch notes, because with the patch notes, you actually see something that's really funny. To me, I think it's funny. See all these changes for Homelander? Now, I went over the only ones that were important, but it's crazy how Homelander got all of these changes and he's still bugged. He's still the most bugged character in the game with all of these changes, because that bug that I showed off is a major bug. It's a game-changing bug, and he's still bugged. So, yeah, if you want to read that, I'll pause it right there, but there's no point in going over all of the Homelander changes, because he's still bugged, and it's not, really important, all the little camera fixes and all that stuff. Now we have the changes on Cyrax, Chameleon, and Janet. Like I showed off, Cyrax has been reverted. His revert got reverted again. Chameleon got baby nerfs, slight pushback. Health nerf, so she takes more damage. Not a big deal. She's still the best cameo in the game. And Janet, that one's an interesting one to me. She got her health not her health, her damage nerfed again for like the third time. At this point, if you play Janet, I feel bad for you because I just don't understand what they want to do with that character. They keep nerfing her damage every patch, and that's the main reason people pick Janet. They don't pick Janet for the Sento like stance, they pick her for the damage, and they keep nerfing her. So, like I said, I don't think that's a really good change, the fact that they keep doing that, but it's not something I'm incredibly upset about because I honestly don't use Janet, but I feel bad for the people that do use her. And I just don't get it at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if she got another damage nerf. Like, how little do y'all want the damage to be on the Janet call? So now we get to the point of the video where I talk about how I feel about the patch. And honestly, I don't think it was a good patch. I'm not sitting up here just trying to bash them. When they did release a good patch, that patch where they buffed Reptile and Rain, I thought that was a pretty good patch. It came with a lot of other changes too. I talked about that. I thought it was a good patch. And I'm saying that to just show that I don't get on here just to bash them. They just do a lot of things that are bash worthy because they don't give a crap. And this patch really shows that they just don't care. The patch was bad. It wasn't good. Nothing but a bunch of nerfs over and over again. And they keep doing the same thing like almost every other patch but one. Nerfs, 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 nerfs. You get a nerf, you get a nerf. Nerf here, nerf there, nerf everywhere. It's nothing but a bunch of nerfs, and it's getting old and boring. And when I was doing one of the takes of the video, I sat there and thought that, dang, this patch really did not do anything. And I feel like this almost every patch, because if you think about everything changed, like Johnny's still the best in the game. So they're nerfing everything, but they're not even nerfing the main character that needs to be nerfed. They nerfed Peacemaker, but Peacemaker is still one of the best in the game. And his change wasn't even that big of a deal. Then they tried to fix Homelander, but he's still bugged. They reverted the reverts on Cyrax, so that really doesn't mean anything. And then they nerfed Chameleon, but she's still the best assist in the game. And they took away Janet's damage a bit. So overall, the patch did nothing really. We still got a bugged Homelander. We still got top two Johnny and Peacemaker running around. It was no point for this patch besides reverting to Cyrax at the end of the day. Because we don't know how much that headbutt change is going to affect Peacemaker, but he's still going to have a lot of amazing tools. He still has Eagly to check you at the same range as Torpedo does. So again, the patch was just lackluster in my opinion because it didn't do much. It didn't change nothing for the game. And I already know what some people are going to say. They're going to be like, well, they aren't going to want to change the game that much because EVO's coming. And if you don't know what EVO is, it's the second biggest tournament of the year for NRS. Final Kombat is their biggest tournament, but for other games, it's usually EVO. But for, like I said, NRS Final Kombat's the biggest tournament. EVO's coming up soon, and we are thinking that they're going to just, not release any major changes because of EVO, but we're talking about the same people who decided to let Cyrax rock for their biggest event. So I don't really want to hear that. They could have done at least something interesting with this patch and did something that held us over another month until EVO. Like, it's just going to be something else after this point if people keep making excuses for NRS. Oh, they're waiting for this. Oh, they're waiting for that. Oh, they're waiting for this. Give us something to make us excited for the game. They implemented some changes in the game, right? So that shows that they're willing. Why not implement better changes, more exciting, fun changes? Now, if they do come out with a big patch around EVO, around after EVO, then that makes up for everything. It really does. But if they don't, then unfortunately we just are going to have to sit here playing the game without any changes and probably look forward to more nerfs for the next patch. This nerf thing that they keep doing, this nerf culture that they got going on right now, is just not it. And they did not used to be like this. I don't know what made them this way. I don't know if they just being hateful on purpose, but nobody gets hyped for nerfs. Nobody wants all these nerfs. Most people want buffs. And I get that you got to do what's best for your game at the end of the day. And I don't think all of these nerfs are what's best for business. People don't get hyped for nerfs. People don't just get on and like, oh, I'm so excited that Peacemaker got a nerf. And even if there is somebody that feels like that, it wasn't even a big nerf. So let me correct that real quick, because there are some people that get on and are hyped for nerfs on characters that they don't like. But it will never be as hype as their character getting buffed or multiple characters getting buffed. Even if you're hyped for the Peacemaker nerfs, because he's the biggest change of the patch, it didn't do that much. You're still going to hate him. You're going to be able to duck Torpedo now sometimes. He's going to go to the other side and still start zoning you from the other side. So again, yes, there are some people that do get hyped for nerfs at the end of the day when they really hate the character, but guaranteed more people want buffs at the end of the day. Because when you look at what Final Kombat was, it was nothing but a bunch of Peacemaker Johnny. That is not healthy for the game. And this patch did not change that at all. If everyone at your tournament, dang near, is playing 2 characters, what does that tell y'all for the game? It's not in a good spot. Instead of nerfing one of the 2 characters, because I don't even care if they're nerfed Peacemaker at this point, give us more characters to fight Peacemaker and Johnny. Like, I don't get why that is such a hard mentality. Hey, devs watching the game, they're watching the tournament, they see only Peacemaker and Johnny getting picked. That's the problem. And even then, they didn't even nerf Johnny. They just nerfed Peacemaker. Johnny's better than Peacemaker. So again, they're not even nerfing right. At the end of the day, give us more to deal with the meta in the game instead of slightly nerfing the meta each patch. The only people that got majorly changed in the game were Raiden and Cyrax. Those are the only 2 characters that had like a really big fall off. And Baraka, because Baraka was running stuff too for a while. And well, not even for a long while, because when he was meta, you still had Johnny and Raiden and everything. So at the end of the day, characters aren't being drastically changed in this game with the few changes that NRS does make. And it's just not interesting. It's just not fun. The patches are boring now. We want buffs. Like, do we got to start something on Twitter saying we want buffs at this point? Because this is getting old. It's nothing but nerfs over and over again. And they're not even good nerfs at that. So let me just stop, because I made my point in this video. Again, patch wasn't good. Just nothing but a bunch of nerfs. And they say, some people are saying, well, the patch is lackluster because they're waiting for Evo. I don't care, because these are the same people that decided to let Cyrax rock for their biggest event at the last second. So I feel like they could have given us at least better nerfs if they were going to put nerfs in the game. And at the end of the day, you're still going to see probably Peacemaker and Johnny in Evo Grand Finals. So what did this patch really do? Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.